Hi everyone, my name is Moran, also known as the Soul Yogi, and I've partnered with Lloyds Pharmacy Online Doctor with a quick and easy men's yoga routine focusing on strong pelvic floor muscles. The pelvic floor muscles are a group of muscles that are located within the pelvis, between the tailbone and the pubic bone. In men, these muscles support the bladder, bottom and penis. This routine is going to engage and strengthen your pelvic floor muscles, helping you have better sex, control of your bladder and bowel. These 5 yoga poses are perfect for any man who experiences erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, performance anxiety, or has bladder or bowel control issues. This routine is fully accessible for everyone. I'll give modifications for each pose along the way, closing with some breathwork techniques which can be done at anywhere, at any time, seated, lying down, or simply anywhere where you feel comfortable. So get yourself something comfortable that you can move in, a yoga mat, and let's get started. So for our first exercise today, working on our pelvic floor and our abdominis, working on the insides of the thighs, we're going to find triangle pose, Sanskrit also known for Trikonasana. So to start off in our first posture, find yourself in the middle of your mat, hips are over hip width distance apart, nice spread in the legs. You can also make it slightly wider if you like. And we're going to start with the left leg first. So turning the left foot out towards the end of your mat, left heel faces inward towards the instep of the right foot. From here, place the hands on the hips and find that nice lengthening through the spine. Engage in the pelvic floor. You're going to squeeze the glutes, tilt the pelvis slightly forward and find that length through the spine here. Once you're nice and tall, like a tree, you're going to bring the hands out in line with your shoulders. So left hand comes forward, engaging through the fingertips here, and also with the right hand facing in the same direction. Behind you, engaging the full length of the shoulders and the arms. Hinging from the hips like a pendulum. So if you want to imagine a pendulum swinging down, turn the palms to face outwards, and you're going to hinge from the hips. Inhale. Push that belly out, squeeze the glutes, exhale, hinge from the hips. From here, the hips are gonna go back towards the right leg. Right arm is gonna come up towards the sky, really reaching and finding that length and that stretch here. Left hand will come down on the inside of the left leg. Now this may be a little bit challenging for some people, and that's okay. You can always reach further up through the abdominis and the rib cage. Tightening the abdominis is also very important for pelvic floor health. We'll find that length and that stretch. So inhale, we're gonna reach up with that right hand, really find that length here. And the left hand can also come up towards the insides of the knee here. This will help lock out the legs, keeping everything nice and tight and engaged, which is a lot better than trying to get the hand towards the ground and having a collapse in the knee. If this still feels a little bit too difficult for you, you can also reach forward for a yoga block. Placing a block like so on the inside of your left foot. Left hand will just reach nice and palm flat on the top of the block. Right hand will reach up towards the ceiling here, and just breathing here for 5 long, deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose. On the exhale, squeeze the thighs, engage the glutes, reaching up further through the rib cage here and feel the tightness in the abdominis. This is also going to help tighten our pelvic floor, the abdominis, and strengthen the abdominal walls, also known as the transverse abdominis, the very deep part of the stomach. Finding that length, 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, try and reach a little bit further here. Relax your shoulders though, down the back. Try not to strain the neck. Keep reaching up here. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. From here, hinging from the hips like a pendulum, reaching up with the right hand as the left hand leaves the block, coming back to our starting position. And from here, hands can come down towards your hips as we move into our next phase. Let's move our block out the way. Opposite side. Turning the left heel in, right toe will then face out, just changing our stance and our position. Once again, arms engaged, looking forward towards the right fingertips. Relax your shoulders and engage that pelvic floor. Squeeze those glutes, engage through the feet. As you can see, my kneecap will pull up here, engaging the thighs, also working with the inner part of the sacrum as well. Deep breath in. Exhale, palms face inwards, hinging from those hips, leaning down here towards the inside of that right leg, coming down with the fingertips on the inside of the left calf, reaching up with that left hand here. Don't be afraid to make noise with your breath. This will also help you go deeper in your postures. 2 more breaths here. Deep breath in. Really engage those thighs, pull the knees, squeeze the abdominals, and also reaching up towards the sky here. Great work. One more breath. Inhaling nice and deep through the nose, really find that length and that reach. Coming up a little bit further if you need to. And then on the exhale, pull the belly in nice and tight. Reaching up and back with that left hand like a pendulum, gazing towards that right hand here. And exhale as the hands come down towards the hips and turning the heels back out, parallel towards the front of your mat. From here, your Trikonasana is complete. We're going to move on to our next exercise now, also known as Malasana, Yogi Squat. Starting with a shorter distance between the hips, we're going to heel toe the hips slightly in here. Now you want to ideally have hip width distance apart. So what we're going to do to make sure that we've got our alignment correct, heels will come together. Think of a penguin, that's probably the best way to describe it. Turning the heels in here, finding that nice plie stretch. You're going to turn the heels out, parallel towards each other, so they're in line with the foot. From here, make a W with the feet. Slight heel turn in here, and slight movement with the toes out. As you look down, your feet will come out onto an angle, making the shape of a W, like so. From here, I like to have my hands on the hips here, find that length, pelvis tilts forward, lengthen through the spine, inhale, lift. On the exhale, hands come to prayer in the center of the chest. Exhale, bend your knees here, sitting the pelvis nice and low. Now, for a lot of people, that might feel a little bit difficult as you send the pelvis down towards the floor. If this is a little bit difficult, once again, grabbing your block, you can place a block lengthways underneath the pelvis here, right by the anus, and keeping that length through the spine, like so. With that length through the spine, use your elbows to press the inside of the knees out, engaging the palms and the inner thighs once again. It's going to feel really tight on the inside of the groin, totally normal. This is just engaging the transverse abdominis even further on the lower part of the stomach, and also working within the sacrum and the inner part of the thighs. So it's really important here to make sure you're engaging. Lift up through the chest, arch, the slight arch in the back, gazing up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing here. Feel free to close the eyes and find that meditative state. It feels really good. Just 2 more breaths. Inhale nice and deep through the nose. Find that length, that stretch. Eventually, working with this posture, you'll also be able to go a little bit deeper. Once you're ready, you can also remove the block, place the block gently to one side, and send the groin even further down here, working on that length, looking up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Well done. Keep squeezing that pelvic floor as well, working on a nice tight sensation on the anal gland. Breathe. 1 more breath. On the exhale, we're going to press through the feet, engage through the calves, lifting up, squeezing those glutes. Hands come towards the hips. Exhale, turn the heels back so they're nice and parallel towards the floor. We're going to now move on to our next exercise, also known as happy baby pose and cat-cow. So starting off with our cat-cow first. Moving over towards the mat, make your way down onto a tabletop position. Now for tabletop, wrists in line with shoulders, knees in line with your hips. So looking down, nice strong line of engagement here through the shoulder and towards the wrist. And from your knees, nice engagement also. Feet are parallel towards the knees and the calves here. And find your length. As you inhale, raise the gaze as you look forward, feeling that stretch, pressing the hands into the mat here. You'll feel the stretch down the sides of the shoulders, core, and also the lower part of the pelvis, as well as the glutes. Taking a nice deep breath in. Cow pose, arch the back. Lift the tailbone high, push the chest towards the floor, and lift up through the chest here, looking towards the ceiling. Slight curvature of the spine here. You'll feel the stretch in the lumbar part of the spine, and also engage the pelvic floor here by squeezing the glutes here. Nice tight sensation here. When squeezing the pelvic floor, the best way to describe it is almost like you need to go to the bathroom. This is going to help tighten everything and work deep within the abdominis. By inhaling and pushing the belly out in your cow pose, you're actually stretching the abdominis here as well, even further. Pressing the belly down towards the ground helps tighten the core altogether. It's a master posture, so really engage that stretch. Exhale, cat pose. Rounding the spine here, tuck that tailbone under, press through the floor with the hands, chin to chest, really feeling that lovely stretch, and drop the head here. Allow the weight of the head to pull you down, and as you press, you're going to feel a lovely stretch on the top part of the scapula. This is also going to help tighten the abdominis even further by squeezing those glutes in our cat pose. You're really going to help work on that pelvic floor and the inner part of the thighs. Really, really working on that pressure as well. Inhale, come back to find your cow pose. And now you can find some fluidity here. Inhaling on your cow pose. Pushing that belly out. Exhaling cat pose, tucking that tailbone under. Pulling that belly nice and tight, pressing those hands down. Inhale, cow pose, arch the back, nice gaze up towards the ceiling. And exhale, cat pose. Don't be afraid to drop your head in your cat pose here. Your head weighs about a stone, so allow it to pull yourself down and also help with the alignment in the back. 2 more rounds here. Inhale, cow pose, arching the back, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose, tucking that chin into chest, really pressing that mat away. Once more, last set. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Pull that belly in nice and strong. From here, return to a neutral spine, gazing ahead here. If you want to stretch out the wrists, as it can be a little bit tender, feel free to just press the wrists, top part of the hands into your mat, feeling that nice stretch on the wrists here. Feel free to push back again towards the heels, stretching the chest down, finding a child's pose here, just to help stretch out those shoulders. For our final 2 postures, we're going to move into our happy baby pose. For here, make your way down towards your backside on the mat. I like to press my legs, roll back and press through the hands, finding a nice comfortable seat. From here, we're going to find our way onto our backs, lying down on our mat. So, descend the back down towards your mat here. Optional challenge, tighten the core as you lower down here, working on the abdominis even further. You can also hold this as a supportive version of low boat, if it also helps too. Lowering down towards your mat here. Finding your imprinted spine, slight curvature in the back here. We're going to press the lower part of the back into the mat. Inhale, push that lower back into your mat here. Immediately the abdominis will switch on. Bringing each knee into the chest at a time and extending the feet up towards the ceiling here. Flexing the toes, turning the toes towards your face. Using your hands, you're going to exhale, bend into the knees, sending the knees towards your clavicle or the front part of your shoulder, and reaching up with the hands to grab a hold of the blade of the foot, also known by your little toe. Grab up here, reaching up. And from here, bring the arms on the inside of the knees, keeping that groin nice and open. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Push that belly out, press the lower back, exhale, pull on those feet now, bringing the knees all the way down. It's a really tight sensation here on the inside of the calves, really by the thighs and more into the sides of the groin. But really pull it down here. Fun fact, we actually still stress in our calves and also within our groin. So this sensation, if it feels painful, you're probably a little bit stressed out, that's okay. But give it a nice good pull towards the clavicle here, really engaging. If this feels a little bit too difficult for you, option is you can also grab behind the back of the calves and keep those feet flexed, pulling on those calves now, bringing those knees even further. This is also another option for you, really feeling that stretch. From here, tighten the abdominis and also work with the anal gland. Really tighten, squeeze those glutes, pull the knees further down, exhale. From here, have a bit of a play around, working on the back of the hamstrings and the calves even further. You can extend one leg out, feeling the back of the stretch on the back of the calf muscle, working within the groin. And exhale, change legs, kick the other leg back, bending the other knee in. And you can find a couple of variations here as well. You can also work on swaying from side to side to help massage the back, which feels really good too. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Printing that lower spine, squeeze those glutes. Inhale. Exhale, relax your shoulders, pull the knees in. Well done. 1 more breath. Inhale through the nose, push that belly out. Exhale, pull that belly in. Well done. Happy baby pose is now complete. Moving on to our final pose, which is our reclined angle pose. Bringing the heels down towards your mat, staying connected with the spine here. Allow the knees to open wide. Think of a page of a book opening like so. Keeping the knees pushed out towards the side here. Use your hands to reach down and grab the bottom of your shins, ideally by the ankles. If not, use your knees and use your feet to walk in, like so. The tighter this is, as in the feet towards the groin, the more deeper the stretch will be. Even if you start off here, that's fantastic. But slowly start to work your way inwards towards the groin, opening the groin even further, helping deeper within the abdominis and also working within the sacral. So pulling those feet in as much as you can and bring your feet together. Think of your feet glued, like your feet are doing a prayer pose. Hands come out by the side. You can now close the eyes here and just begin to breathe for 5 long deep breaths. Now, imprint the lower spine, press that lower back onto your mat, and then you want to work on pushing those knees out towards the sides here. Inhale, push the belly out. Press the lower back, exhale, pull those knees out towards the side. Staying here for 5 deep, long breaths. If you want to go a little bit further, hands can come on the inside by the thighs, placing right by the insides of the groin here. Turning the fingers up towards the knees. Deep breath in. Exhale, press the thighs, slide the hands up towards the knees. Allowing that pressure to pull out even further as the knees make the way towards the mat. And don't be too concerned about getting the knees towards the floor. Mine don't, I don't expect yours to either, so that's okay. Everyone's different. Respect it. Deep breath in. And exhale. Last 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Well done. To close our sequence off today, place the hands at the back of the thighs. It's very important that we support our legs closing here, keeping the abdominis nice and open, as well as with the groin and the sacral. Exhale, you're going to close the knees like a book. Use the hands to guide the knees back together as the feet find their way down towards the mat. And from here, bend the knees into the chest, one at a time. Hugging onto the knees here, I like to interlace my fingers just by the knees and decompress. Press that lower spine, pull the knees in towards the chest. Take 2 nice deep long breaths here. Exhaling out the mouth, really pulling those knees nice and tight. You'll feel a gorgeous stretch on the insides of the groin as well, which is good. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull in. Last one. And you are done. Making your way up, crossing the legs here, reaching up through the spine, coming onto the elbows, as you make your way towards the top of your mat. And from my heart to yours, I say namaste. Fantastic work. I hope this has been helpful and informal, and thank you for joining me today.